It's a real Derby prep with 14 horses in the Lecomte, and Scabbard is the favorite. And so just talk about for starters, his last race when he was fourth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Santa Anita.
He didn't run bad at Santa Anita. He was fourth, but didn't run a bad race. I don't think he was in love with the track that day. The track seemed to favor horses that like to race close up to the pace, and our horse is a closer. So the racetrack that particular day didn't suit our running style. So a little bit disappointed, but that's the way it goes. But he's come back from that race in good shape, and I think he'll like the fairgrounds really well.
And that's why you brought him here from Florida. The stretch, the surface.
Correct. I think he'll. This track is similar to Churchill Downs. He likes Churchill. He actually loves Churchill, which is a good thing. This track is similar. It's got a long stretch too, which should suit his running style. Big field, which is okay because that will ensure that there'll be a legitimate pace in the race, which I think there will be. And so hopefully it'll set up good for him.
How about his development? He's never run a bad race. He broke his main first time out, was second in 2 graded stakes in the 4th. You used to train him always in blinkers, and you're saying now he doesn't train the blinkers. He will continue with. So I'm guessing he's developing.
He's grown up a little bit, yeah, a little bit more mature, maybe a little bit more professional. Probably doesn't need blinkers for a race or training, but we took them off for training and it's worked fine, and we've cut back his blinkers considerably for this upcoming race, so they won't be quite as enclosed. You'll be able to see a little bit more around him. So yeah, I think he's just growing up. The Lecomte on paper looks like it's a very good race. There's several horses in there that are lightly raced that haven't been heard of a lot yet, but they're just developing. So there could be some rising stars in this race. A lot of nicely bred horses from some good connections. So it's a deep enough race.
You're a Louisville guy. How much do you think about the first Saturday in May? And if you admit that you do, his characteristics that you like at this young stage of the game?
Well, I think the fact that we've had 2 good races over Churchill suits us. So we're excited about the fact that he'll run hopefully in the Derby and get there. And at least we know that he likes the track. A lot of the horses that may run in the Derby might not have any experience on that surface prior to the race. So at least we've got that going for us. And it's like he trained there all summer last year. So it's like going home for us when we move back into Churchill Downs in the spring. It'll be an easy transition for this horse.
Do you think Scabbard has the tools?
Yeah, I think he's run against some nice horses. He didn't get beaten very far by Dennis's Moment in the Iroquois at Churchill in September. So he hasn't run any bad race at all yet, and I think he'll run another good race on Saturday.
And final question, putting in perspective the Breeders' Cup, there were some very nice horses, Dennis's Moment for one, but that finished well in his way.
Correct. I think you got to throw out that race at Breeders' Cup because the track didn't suit maybe Dennis's Moment, maybe didn't suit my horse, and I think they'll all get another fair shot at it going forward here this spring, and you'll see some turnaround in form from some of the horses that didn't run very well in that Breeders' Cup race.